Have you ever looked at your life, your title, your salary, the status that you spent decades building, and realised that while your role and your life looks full from the outside, there's something missing inside? I spent years in leadership roles and I know that secret weight. It's the feeling of being successful by every metric that the world seems to care about, but knowing inside, in your heart of hearts, there's a feeling of emptiness. I used to feel this sense of never-ending anxiety, that there was something missing, that there was something wrong, something that that just didn't feel right. It's hard to describe now, and I can't really put my finger on it very well, but I certainly didn't feel fulfilled, even though I was doing really enjoyable roles and I should have been in the prime of my career and I had positive feedback, lots of achievements, but still something kept nagging away at me. So today, what I want to talk about is why smart, capable leaders stay in roles after the joy has gone. I'm going to cover the golden handcuffs, the fear of the pivot, the fear of making a change, and how we can begin a process of midlife reinvention. Because I truly believe that midlife isn't the end, it's the perfect time to start over again. If you haven't watched one of my videos before, welcome to the channel. My name's Lucy, and here is where we talk about being happy at work and in life. So let's crack on. I recently heard about somebody who has spent 30 years in financial services and recently retired. They had a high octane, a high pressure, a high stakes career and had been totally committed to that career while they were working there, right at the top of their game. But when they retired, instead of feeling that sense of satisfaction and achievement that they'd expected to feel, they realised that the sense of security that they'd been chasing meant that they'd never had time to be the person that they were trying to build that security for. They found themselves wondering, is that it? Why did I waste so much time? I see this so often in the comments to my channel. People feel sucked of life and drained by corporate environments that demand everything and give so little. And I think it's a heartbreaking realisation to have at 60 or 65. But the question I want to ask today is, do we have to wait till retirement to ask ourselves these questions? Isn't it better to ask them earlier on in our careers? Can we be brave enough to take a step back and ask ourselves, is this the best use of my time? In leadership roles, we're trained to fix things, to continually improve things. It's easy to think that if we just work a bit harder, fix the culture a bit better, wait till the next new product launch, wait till the next reorganisation, then things will improve. But staying in a role that erodes your values isn't just a career choice, it's also a health risk. The mental and physical exhaustion that comes from that feeling of hollowed out is a heavy burden to carry, and I can really testify to that. In those times when I felt like I'd lost my purpose, I know I found it really hard to move on because I was fearful of losing that status, certainly of losing that financial security. I was also afraid of what other people might say. What was I going to write on LinkedIn about my move? I wasn't moving to a thing, I was moving away from a thing. What was I going to say I was doing now? But I realised that we've only got one life, and spending it in a job that doesn't fill us with joy feels like a massive, massive price to pay. So how about taking the opportunity for reinvention to be not about leaving something bad, but about moving towards something good? Purpose looks very different when you're in your 20s. Back then, it was all about the next thing, the climb up the ladder, the next job, the next opportunity. Now, things are very different. It's about the contribution. Lots of people talk about wanting to give something back. Many of my clients find fulfilment in volunteering, in mentoring, in practical creative work, things entirely different from what they've spent their career doing. People find fulfilment in roles where they can finally be the kind of leader they always wanted to be without all the corporate nonsense and politics. When you find work that truly aligns with who you really are, you'll find that that empty feeling starts to fill up. You start to feel more human, and you realise that you don't need a big title and all the trappings in order to have a massive positive impact on the world around you. I think joy is a valid measure of career success, and maybe the only one that truly matters in the long run. When I look back and think about what I will be proudest of, it's the friends I made, the fun I had, the things I did outside work. Of course, I feel massively proud of the achievements I had in my charity career and the difference I know I made to lots of people's lives. But in terms of career satisfaction, it's sometimes the little things outside that really loom largest in my memories. It's some of the more spiritual things that bubble to the surface these days, I think. If you're in that wrong feeling place yourself right now, here are 3 steps you can do to start reclaiming your life. Firstly, have a think about the identity. Ask yourself, is this a job title I hold, or is it who I am? If you stripped away the LinkedIn profile and the salary, what's left? I think it's more important to be yourself than it is to be a title on a business card. Step 2, define your version of enough. This is the practical bit. What do you actually need to feel secure? Often we stay for a lifestyle that we're actually too tired to fully enjoy. Sit down with your bank statements. You might find that enough is much closer than you think. Step 3, give yourself permission to pivot. Give yourself permission to do something smaller if that's what will make you happier. You might find it actually makes your life bigger. There's absolutely no shame in a fresh start. After some difficult professional times, personally, I've had multiple fresh starts. In fact, this YouTube channel is one of my fresh starts, and to be honest, it's been one of the best things I've ever done. So if you're feeling hollowed out today, please know that you're not alone. You haven't failed because you're tired of the rat race. Tell me in the comment, have you ever felt like you've outgrown a role or that you're wasting time in the job that you're doing, that there's another calling for you? If you could pivot tomorrow with complete freedom, what joyful work would you choose? If any of this resonated for you, don't forget to like and subscribe. I also want to let you know that I'm going to be opening a waitlist for my one-to-one coaching program imminently. So do sign up for my weekly newsletter, because that's where I will be keeping people up to date on my plans. So if that's of interest, look for the link below and sign up. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I've tried to show you a bit of spring, which is finally arriving in Birmingham. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.